Hi, I'm Savita and welcome to my online sewing classes. In our previous classes, you've learned how to cut bias strips which are used to finish the curved neckline or hemline or for piping, wherein you'd cut multiple strips of bias and join them together to make it long enough to go around a curved neckline or hemline. This process may seem a little tedious when you are in need of a long bias strip, for example, when finishing the hemline of a flared skirt or while making piping for a sari border. So in this class, I'll be showing yet another interesting method wherein you'll be doing just one stitch and you can get a long strip of bias fabric. So let's start with the class. Take a rectangle piece of fabric which you want to cut bias strips with. From this corner, I'm drawing a line, keeping the set square in right angle. Now mark the strip width. That is, normally we take around 1 to 1¼ inches for cord piping. I'll be marking 1¼ inches. Same way, continue marking the same distance. So these many strips is what I need for my project. Now cut on this line and cut on the first line. So you're cutting on first and last line. This we don't need. Now I'll cut here on the first line. And this also is not needed. Now take this fabric. Now we are not cutting on all these strips. We'll be cutting later. Let me again explain on this paper. So this is how I've drawn the lines. And the corners are cut off on both sides. Now take this. So the lines are drawn on the wrong side of the fabric. Now turn it and bring the lines together. Leave the first line and from the second line match it with the line on the other side. Now keep them together and sew at 1/4 inch seam allowance. So this is how you need to do the next step, and then I'll be showing how to cut the strips. While cutting, we'll start cutting from this end and cut in circles, and once you've done, you'll be having one long bias strip. So with just one stitch, you can get so many bias strips attached instead of attaching each bias strip separately. That's why this method is used when long strips of bias are needed. Let me show you on the fabric. First turn the fabric to the right side and then bring these two ends together. Leaving the first line of one side, start matching the lines from the second line, and you'll be sewing at 1/4 inch. After you sew, the line should not be distorted, so align it in such a way that after you stitch, the line should be straight. Once you have aligned, you can just pin it and do this for all the lines. Once you have aligned the first line, this will automatically fall in place. Just go on pinning. Do this all the way till you reach the last line. Now on paper you had seen only this much, but this rectangle was big, so you will need to go all the way round pinning this. Now stitch at 1/4 inch all the way till where you have pinned. Then I'll show you how to cut this. I've stitched in the same line as I had pinned. Now take your fabric shears and start cutting from this first line here. Before that, flatten the seam all the way. You can iron it flat or just flatten it with your nails. Now start cutting just one layer from the first line. and continue cutting the same line all the way. After you stitch, the lines should be still straight, not distorted. So you have to sew it in such a way. You can already see the long bias strip. So cut till you reach the other end. So just one stitch and you have got such a long bias strip. So it saves time as you don't have to stitch each and every strip of fabric. This is useful when you need to finish your flared skirt hem with the binding or piping, or in anarkalis, or even for saree when you want to give piping. This is done now. You can use it for cord piping or piping without cord, or for binding. Thank you for watching this class. For pattern making tools and for full-fledged online sewing classes, please visit our website servicefashionstudio.com. See you soon in the next class. Until then, happy sewing.